What is the lowest level you can beat Pokemon Red and Blue using a Rapidash? We are on to Lorelei. I just want to take a minute. Rapidash is underrated. We owe Rapidash an apology. Look at this Pokemon. Look at this mon. A freaking fire horse, dude. And look at its name. It's Rapid Dash. Just incredible. And that shiny. This is my absolute favorite run. Hands down, bar none. You even look at the new profile picture. I just had to make a custom just because of how much fun I had doing this run. We'll get into the move pool in a little bit here. I do realize I made a mistake by the end of it, but I don't want it to detract. Basically, the Dugong would take us out way too often, and the Cloyster has way too high defense for us to do anything about. We do have Fire Blast for the Cloyster, but getting the two OHKO moves was necessary. Because once we get to Slowbro, we can mimic Amnesia. As far as I would see, the Slowbro would pretty much always use Withdraw or Water Gun, which are both classified as water moves, and that good AI is going to want to use them. So we get lucky. We get a lot of Amnesias off before it even goes for a Water Gun. So at this point, it's pretty much free. So we're just going to take our time and chip away the Slowbro. Water Gun is such a weak move when we have so much Amnesia that even if it hits us, we're not worried. But if you look at this, it just keeps going for Withdrawal. So at this point, I'm sure Fire Blast would actually do more, but Fire Blast can miss, so I was just saving the PP. Probably had an extra to spare, but there was really no point to use it just because I wasn't worried about the Slowbro at this point. I did not want her to heal, though, so I was debating right there, should I go for a Fire Blast to knock it out? And we go for it, and it knocks it out. The Jinx isn't too bad. We are faster, and it's an ice type with no water, dual move to it, so Fire Blast is going to take it out pretty quick. Fire Blast is 85% accurate, so it's relatively reliable, but there is the opportunity to miss there. We get a Thrash, which is not good. Puts us in KO range for the Lapras if we miss. So basically at this point, we just got to make sure that the Lapras doesn't do too much to us. I kind of want to show you guys some like outtake videos of how close I would get on some of these, and it's pretty bad. You get stuff like this that happens, and a Hydro Pump comes at your face. It's pretty upsetting, but we get lucky with the miss there, and that's what it's about here, the RNG. So then we go ahead and take out the Lapras with Body Slam. So the question I ask you is, what is the lowest level you can beat Pokemon Red and Blue using a Rapidash? We are on to Bruno. Pause for those base stats. Good speed, good attack, and pretty rounded out, so not bad stats overall. When we look at the move pool, nothing spectacular. Bit of the same old, but we just threw in some fire moves. And the OHKO move, of course. So Onyx is the same deal. We're going to wait for it to use Rage, and then we mimic Harden. We're going to get all of our Hardens off. So that way the Hitmonchan's the only thing that is worrisome. I think I said in the last video that I made a mistake on the move pool, and I realized that I didn't make a mistake on the move pool. The reason being is I don't use Hyper Beam in this run, and the reason I don't, and I stick to Body Slam or Double Edge, is because the Horn Drill has 5 PP, Fire Blast has 5 PP, Mimic doesn't really give you that much PP, usually only about 9 after you mimic something. So while there may have been a situation where Hyper Beam might have been more beneficial to have than Body Slam, it was just nice to have that extra experience point so I didn't have to struggle out. So then we're on to the Hitmonchan here. We're looking pretty good, so we're going to go for a Body Slam. The Mega Punch is going to do nothing pretty much because we are so hardened up. We are doing Rapidash especially for Bruno because I thought it might be a challenge. Level 40 to beat Bruno, but we get a Paralyze off the Body Slam, fully paralyzed, so we go Body Slam again. So now we just have the Onyx and the Machamp left. Onyx has a really good defense, but pretty poor special, so we could have chose between either Fire Blast or Horn Drill here. I'm feeling pretty safe with all those Hardens, so I just go for Horn Drill, and I get a nice lucky little hit there. And then we just have the Machamp. Again, if you look at its moves, Fissure won't work on us because our speed is faster, and in Gen 1, that's how it worked. I'm going to go for Body Slam because I really didn't want to just Horn Drill this whole run, but I'm like, well, what's the point? It can't do anything to me, so I might as well try to burn through these 4 Horn Drills to see if I get it, and I do. So that is Bruno down. I'm to the point where I'm going to have to make a ROM hack to make Bruno better. Literally change nothing but Bruno in the whole ROM hack. But anyway, level 41, this is pretty impressive so far. I'm pretty happy. So the question I ask you, What is the lowest level you can beat Pokemon Red and Blue using a Rapidash? We are on to Agatha. So Agatha is pretty tricky. We have Fire Blast and a Mimicked Nightshade are about the only two things that can work on the Ghost Pokemon. And we don't have a lot of PP for either of those. So her using Super Potions and stuff like that can really mess us up. I had to level up to 49 because this is a level in which I can 3-hit KO the Gengar and the Haunter. And then I believe it's actually a 4-hit KO on the level 60 Gengar. But that level 60 Gengar is left with like 1 health or something. So this is really just RNG. Can we get past the confusions? Can the Gengar use Dream Eater when I'm not even asleep? Will the final Gengar use Toxic and Dream Eater? And that's really it. Let me know if you guys ever want to see some like outtakes of some of my bad beats on here. Because I do have a couple saved. I don't know if you guys are interested in seeing those or you just want to see the win. So comment, let me know. I can definitely post those. You'll notice when we mimic Nightshade, we only get 9. So we really can't be wasting those on anything else. And then Agatha, I believe it's like just under a 10% chance that she's going to switch her Pokemon each turn. So if you use Nightshade on the wrong Pokemon, pretty much have to start over. We do have Fire Blast, which is something Scyther didn't have, which is pretty nice. But it is 85% accurate, and that also doesn't have that many power points. So we have to pick, okay, are we going to use that on the Golbat and Arbok, or do we have to use Body Slam a little bit? Are we going to try to use our Oko move? And when you're doing these, you have a general strategy, but you end up coming up with like 5 different strategies depending on what happens and what your HP is at what point. Like in these ones, if my back's ever against the wall, Horn Drill becomes a strat. But I would try to not use Horn Drill if I can, because that is pure luck. So yeah, if you look here, the Gengar had it been 1 or 2 HP, used a Super Potion, and I knew I was level 50, so I wasn't going to knock it out. So I went for the Flamethrower, ended up getting the kill, which is pretty sweet. In this Haunter's got nothing on me. I got 1 Nightshade left, no Gen 1 miss. So there we go. How exciting, level 50 on Agatha. So the question I ask you is, what is the lowest level you can beat Pokemon Red and Blue using a Rapidash? We are on to Lance. Let me tell you guys, I wish I was wearing a heart rate monitor during Agatha, Lance, and Blue, because this was wild. I had more of a rush doing this than like going to a concert or like going out on a Friday night, I swear. You got a 1-hit KO with a Horn Drill on that Gyarados. It's going to use Hydro Pump. It might miss, so you hang on, but if it hits you, you just reset. Then you can go ahead and mimic Agility. You will notice my level. I used a rare candy to get to 51. The reason being I didn't want to level up because I wanted that sweet badge boost. We are a level 51 Rapidash going up against these dragon Pokemon. We need every little bit of luck we can get here. So we're going to use up our agilities. It's got to recharge, so we're good to go. We use a Body Slam here. Body Slam's doing about a little over half, so that's a good sign. We get lucky. It goes for agility there and not another Hyper Beam. Don't forget to drop a comment or like or something. It really helps with the algorithm. I really appreciate it. You guys have really been blowing me up, and I really do appreciate that. But we're going to continue going here. Body Slam, Body Slam. I did get a Gen 1 miss on one of these, but it wasn't on this run, so that was a little unfortunate. Okay, now Aerodactyl. I need you to see what kind of luck we get. Not only this whole run, but look at this. So I get a Fire Blast, and then we get a crit. 85% accurate move, and we get a crit, because Body Slam's not taken out. So what do? I go for Fire Blast again. I have to get a crit, otherwise it's not going to knock it out. And what do you think happens? Another crit. I mean, just incredible. I was going. But I've gotten to the Dragonite before. I level up, no more badge boost. The amount of luck it takes to get here. And then the amount of luck it takes to first try hit the Horn Drill. It's like, oh my goodness. It's just nuts. Reliving this is wild. Level 52, Rapidash. Let's go. The question I ask you is, what is the lowest level you can beat Pokemon Red and Blue using a Rapidash? We are on to Blue. So the first 2 Pokemon are very difficult. If I use Body Slam, a lot of times the Pidgeot was using a Mirror Move and it was doing too much damage or paralyzing me. Whirlwind is fine. Wing Attack would do quite a bit of damage. And Sky Attack was not good because it was few and far in between that I could knock it out in 2 hits. But here I get the most ideal situation. I get a Whirlwind, which will do nothing in Gen 1 if you're the computer, and I got a critical hit on my Fire Blast, no full restore or anything, so I was able to get past the Pidgeot. Now the Alakazam, a lot of trouble. Okay, so sometimes I want to mimic Recover because of how much chip damage I take, but also if Alakazam uses Reflect, Body slam doesn't do that much, and then I'm left hoping for the one-hit KO move. But here, I was actually getting frustrated. I said, I'm just getting rid of the Alakazam, and I'm going to deal with whatever happens. I get lucky again, critical hit body slam. Now, Rapidash does have high speed, so it does have a higher crit chance, so it's not as lucky as something else, but still lucky. And I'm to the point in this run where I'm level 52, and I made it all the way to blue. I'm going to die with this world record of being the person who beat Pokemon Red and Blue with the lowest level Rapidash possible. I might not do a lot in life, but I will die with that record, because the luck I'm getting here is insane. I could go one of two ways with this. I could be using Horn Drill and just try to knock out the Rhydon, but it also has terrible specials, so I was going for Fire Blast. If you look at the moves, Rhydon really can't do a whole lot against me, so I was okay. I was honestly taking a breather, letting my heart rate calm down. I think I tried this like 200 times, honestly. But I wasn't going to give up because of how well Rapidash was doing. I couldn't do that to him. Arcanine's kind of in the same boat as Rhydon. There's not a whole lot it can do. I mean, Takedown's the worst thing that it can do. But Roar doesn't work. Leer, not ideal. But, we can take that. And Ember doesn't do a whole lot. It did get a nice takedown there, which was pretty frustrating and worrisome. Because the Executor can use Barrage, and it would potentially knock me out, or maybe two of them. So I go for Fire Blast. I'm kind of hoping for a crit here, but we'll see what happens. One level away from knocking it out with the crit, but I get a Sweet Burn there, so all I got to do is survive. If it would have been like a 5-turn barrage, it wouldn't have been good. But I'm hanging on for dear life here. I don't have a whole lot of options. In some of the runs, I was mimicking Hypnosis and trying to put the Blastoise to sleep, but I just say, let's go for it. F it. Boom! Hit the Horn Drill, like the luck. Oh, I was rolling on the floor. This was insane. So that's a world record. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Please follow, like, and comment. It helps me out so much. You guys have been so great, so nice. But the question I ask you is,